Hey y'all, Super Oscar, welcome back to another video. Today, we're reacting to some fern. The mutated animals of Chernobyl. Yo, this shit sounds crazy. Damn, bro. The mutated animals of Chernobyl. I can't lie, I don't know what to expect, but I know that the videos will be crazy, bro. I know it talks about like radiation and shit, so let's get into it, y'all. I can't wait, bro. Let's hop into this shit.
But the patterns on their backs are fire. Pines twist into bizarre shapes. Spider webs hang crooked and uneven. Red firebugs are crawling on the ground, but the patterns on their backs are warped. A bird flies overhead. Its beak is deformed. There's a reason for all this. This forest sits inside a highly radioactive exclusion zone. It's one of the most contaminated places on Earth.
Wow, bro.
Not far from here, the largest nuclear disaster in history happened in 1986.
A nuclear accident in the Soviet Union.
Damn, what the fuck? That wasn't even that long ago.
Radiation is being released from
Thousands died from the radiation's immediate and long-term effects.
God damn,
For
1,000
humans,
people.
the area remains mostly uninhabitable until
Yo,
today.
that's a wasteland, bro. Like, what the
But
fuck?
nature stayed.
Bro, that's
Plants
literally a wasteland,
and
bro.
animals, wolves, deer, wild
Nah,
horses,
bro,
birds,
what?
and insects. But the radiation changed them.
The disaster. Chapter 1. Holy shit, okay.
Spring 1986, in the dead of the night.
Oh, fuck. Oh yeah, they were
Reactor 4
testing
at the
like
Chernobyl
bombs and
nuclear
shit,
power
right?
plant has just exploded.
Oh, the nuclear
Massive
power plant
amounts
has
of highly
exploded.
radioactive material like iodine and cesium
Oh,
are hurled
fuck.
into the air.
Oh, fuck.
The radiation seeps into the cells of all living things in the area,
Shit, bro.
including this deer. 30 minutes after the blast, it's dizzy and barely able to stay on
Yo,
its
RP
feet.
that deer, bro. He's
The
not making
radiation
it.
has
I
burned the
promise you he's
mucosal
not.
tissue inside its digestive tract. Cells all across its body start dying. Blood circulation in the brain falters. And since the blood can't flow properly, pressure builds inside the skull. The deer's blood pressure crashes, it suffers seizures, and multiple organs fail. The next day,
GG's, bro.
the deer is dead.
Damn,
In
bro.
the following days and weeks, the pine needles change color. First to yellow, then to red.
What?
Trees die
fuck
for
does that even
kilometers
mean?
around, giving the area a new name. The Red Forest.
The red forest.
A few
Shit's kind of hard,
kilometers
I
away,
can't
a shepherd dog lives in the town of Pripyat. For the past day, it's been feeling unwell, tired and nauseous. Its owners are worried. They too feel under the weather, though they don't know why.
Okay.
Then a voice crackles over the radio with
the
an
hell?
announcement.
Внимание, внимание!
Attention, attention,
Уважаемые
comrades.
товарищи! Городской
The city
совет
council, the
народных
people's
депутатов
deputies announces.
Residents are informed about an accident at the nearby nuclear plant,
Oh shit.
but they
So
are
they have to
assured
flee.
everything is under control.
Yeah, they have to
Just
go.
to be safe, people are told to leave town for 3 days
Damn.
and to leave their pets behind. The family assumes they'll be back soon, so they leave enough food for the dog for a few days.
Damn, yeah, they
But
did not
the
come back,
Soviet
bro.
authorities are lying.
Yeah.
They're doing everything in their power to cover up a nuclear disaster of unprecedented
Yeah,
scale.
they did not come back, gang.
Like tens of thousands of others, this family will never return.
Bye bye.
Their dog is on its own now.
Yo,
3
I feel
days
bad for
later,
that dog, bro, I
the
can't
food
lie.
is gone. On the 4th day,
Shit.
he leaves the house, hungry and searching for anything to eat.
Damn.
He encounters other dogs wandering the empty streets. They too were abandoned and left behind. Suddenly,
Oh, shit,
shots
what the
are
fuck?
fired.
Oh, they
The
execute the
Soviet
dogs?
authorities have ordered
Nah, they
police
actually
to kill
execute the
all
dogs?
stray dogs.
I mean, it makes
in an
sense.
attempt to stop
They
the
literally said
animals
leave the
from
dogs,
spreading
so-
radioactive material.
Okay.
The
makes
dogs
sense.
flee into the forest. Just like all the other animals here,
Okay,
they
okay.
find themselves in the heart of the world's largest nuclear exclusion zone.
Damn, bro. This was even not long ago
Radiation
too, bro.
remains dangerously high for months. Many animals develop chronic radiation
Radiation
sickness.
sickness.
Blood
Makes
pools
sense.
in their livers and spleens.
Liver,
Lymph
spleen,
nodes swell.
lymph nodes.
Thyroids fail.
Damn.
The animals grow thin, and many die.
Yeah, it might mutate
Over
too,
the
bro.
next 10 years, radiation levels drop significantly.
Yeah, that's good at least, bro. It dropped at least.
The only humans left are workers and guards looking after the ruins of the nuclear plant. Beyond that, the area is almost completely abandoned. In this vast and empty space, wildlife can spread freely. Over the years, the zone evolves into one of Europe's largest nature reserves. Countless animals settle in, bears and lynx, moose and foxes, and multiple packs of wolves. Even some of the original residents remain. Hundreds of street dogs, descendants of the pets left behind, roam the area. Swallows skim over the treetops. Frogs leap through the undergrowth.
Yeah,
and
they're
they
not
are
living
all
this shit.
followed by their silent companion, the radiation.
Chapter 2, Mutants.
The first thing you notice are the eyes.
One of the first signs of exposure to radiation is something called cataract in the eye.
They go blind
it's
then.
the cloudiness of the lens of the eye.
Bro, so they go blind?
It happens to people who are exposed to higher levels of radiation.
That's Timothy
Damn.
Musso.
Yo, am I
He's
the
a
only
biology
person who
professor
doesn't
at
know
the
how
University
radiation
of
works?
South Carolina. Few people know the creatures of Chernobyl as well as he does.
Don't
He's
really get
talking
it.
to us from a research ship in the middle of the Pacific, studying the effects of nuclear weapon testing on wildlife.
We've had many exciting visits to Chernobyl. I've been going to Chernobyl pretty much 2 or 3 times a year.
Bro, why?
Sometimes 4 times a year.
A so-called cataract
Yo,
is
does he want to die? Why are you going there every year for 4 times a year? Bro, he wants to die, bro. What is wrong with this guy?
the clouding of the lens in the eye. It's a common disease in humans
Like that
known
ass.
as gray star. It blurs the vision, and its most severe form can cause total blindness. The high radiation levels in Chernobyl cause many animals to develop cataracts.
Wow, yo,
The
those
landscape
yellow rings
itself
from the
has
eyes crazy.
changed too. This is what a natural pine forest looks like. Green needles, straight trunks. And
Damn.
this is what a pine forest looks like in the most
Yo,
contaminated
that shit looks
areas
haunted
of
as fuck.
Chernobyl.
Nah, that shit looks
This
haunted.
trunk is twisted, stunted, and
Nah,
misshapen.
it's kind of scary, bro.
The wood has changed its color. If you look closely at the rings, you can see exactly when the disaster happened.
Nah, that's mad
Near
scary.
the base, there are these strange clusters of tangled leaves called witches' brooms.
Witch's broom.
This forest doesn't just look eerily strange. It's
the
a
fuck
stark
is that?
reminder
Bro,
of
what am I
what our
looking at right
actions
now?
can do to nature. Seeing it can make you feel powerless, but it doesn't have to be that way. Planet Wild is a community-based their project. One of the tourists at the Wild's mission by us. Normally, they're neat and symmetrical like this. But here, in Chernobyl's most contaminated areas, the gaps in the strands are far too large.
Bro, look at the webs,
The
bro. What the
patterns are
fuck?
warped and chaotic. This is what a barn swallow usually looks like.
Barn
Note the
swallow?
distinctive combination
Bro, what is
of
that name,
blue-black
bro?
feathers and a red face. This one from Chernobyl has white patches on its face. Its tail feathers are crooked and its beak deformed, stuck
Shit.
slightly open. A lump protrudes beneath its plumage.
Damn.
A tumor. Many changes are not visible from the outside. You can't see that the swallow will live a shorter life and have lower chances to successfully reproduce.
Damn, I feel bad, bro.
Red firebugs are native to Central Europe. Their vibrant red and black coloring with its symmetrical patterns helps ward off potential predators. But Chernobyl firebugs are different. The patterns on their backs are warped and asymmetrical. Some are missing an eye, and the fine black lines are blurred. All of these changes trace back to mutations in the genetic code. This is where the DNA is stored, the blueprint for the insect's entire organism. DNA is made up of two strands, twisted together in a shape called a double helix. It's made up of base pairs. The genetic information is stored in the sequence of these bases, kind of like a computer carrying information using ones and zeros. Several of those bases form a gene. The body reads the sequence through complex molecular processes. Genes act as a blueprint. They determine how the bug looks, the pattern on its back, and what it can and cannot digest. They also influence how long it lives, its vulnerability to certain diseases, and even its behavior. Scientists believe these
Okay.
blueprints make up only a tiny fraction of our DNA. Studies in humans suggest that around 8 to 15% of DNA are functional and actively doing something important. Radioactive atoms like uranium and cesium are unstable. They decay spontaneously, releasing radiation.
Okay.
That radiation carries so much energy
Great
it can
in chemistry,
damage
great in
living
chemistry.
cells the moment it makes contact. It can break DNA directly or split the water molecules in a
Yo,
cell.
we're learning chemistry now, guys.
This creates
Hey.
smaller particles called free radicals. These free radicals then rip through the DNA. Base pairs can be swapped or deleted entirely.
Damn.
Or the entire DNA strand can break apart.
Damn.
When radiation hits the DNA, it damages it. Most of the time, the damage is repaired, but often, if there's
Wow.
enough radiation, this damage will persist. Sometimes it will lead to a disease like a cancer or a tumor or some other developmental problem.
Many of these
Shit.
mutations have no effect. The body either repairs them or they occur in parts of the DNA that don't serve an important function. But sometimes those
Damn.
repairs go wrong, and that's when lasting changes can happen, like
The
the
mutations, I'm
ones we see
guessing.
in Chernobyl. These changes can even be passed down to future generations.
Damn.
But some of the animals around Chernobyl aren't just mutated. They seem to have adapted and are
Oh.
thriving in their new environment.
Okay, evolution.
This is a tree frog. Normally tree frogs are green. But here in the exclusion zone, some of them
The
are
fuck?
pitch black.
They're black.
The dark pigmentation likely comes from melanin.
Okay.
Melanin is what makes your skin darker in summer.
Okay.
Your body produces it to shield your skin from sunlight. But melanin can also help protect against other types of radiation.
Oh,
According
shit.
to a 2022 study, the darkest frogs in Chernobyl were found in areas where radiation levels used to be especially high. So does that mean they've adapted to high radiation? Timothy Mousseau is not convinced. He says the data isn't strong enough to prove a causal link.
Of course, not
Frogs
convinced.
in Chernobyl show no relationship between
Look
the
at this guy, bro.
melanism and radiation level
I mean-
currently. So inside Chernobyl zone,
biologist.
there are light frogs in highly radioactive areas, and there are dark frogs in clean areas.
That is just one of the many scientific debates around Chernobyl's wildlife.
Okay.
What can truly be verified and what's too speculative? Both sides hold firmly to their findings.
Okay.
There's another organism that may be putting the benefits of melanin to work. This black fungus.
What
One
the
of them
fuck am I
grows
looking
here,
at, bro?
right inside reactor 4. One of the most irradiated places on the
They
planet.
didn't burn down that building, bro?
Radiation
The
levels
fuck?
remain so high that nothing should be able to survive here. And yet, this fungus is thriving. Multiple independent studies
Oh,
suggest
shit.
that this fungus may actually be using gamma radiation as an energy source, much like plants use sunlight for photosynthesis. Unlike in the frogs, the melanin in this fungus doesn't just block radiation. It seems to convert it into energy, which the fungus then uses to grow.
What? They're using gamma
Melanized fungi
radiation?
like this one have been found in
The
other
fungus is
highly
using gamma
radioactive
radiation, bro.
places. Astronauts have even studied it aboard the International Space Station. Researchers hope that one day this fungus could act as a natural shield against radiation,
Shit,
perhaps for space travel. As for the fungi in the reactor, it's still unclear whether they've truly adapted to the radiation or if they were just inherently able to cope with it.
Wow.
Larger mammals may have adapted to radiation exposure as well. At least that's what biologist Kara Love and her colleagues at Princeton University believe. They suspect that wolves living in the Chernobyl exclusion zone may be less likely to develop cancer or more resilient to the disease overall, despite constant exposure to high radiation levels. The theory goes like this. Random and spontaneous mutations in DNA make some wolves less vulnerable to cancer. These wolves have a higher chance of
So,
survival,
they just,
while others
become,
are more
immune
likely to
then.
die from the long-term effects of radiation, often
Bro, they're
from
getting immune,
cancer
bro.
itself. The survivors reproduce. Natural selection happens.
Oh my god,
Their
bro.
offspring inherit the protective genes. Over time, they breed with wolves that are also better adapted to radiation,
So then
and so on
later-
and so forth.
Okay.
After a few generations, the
I think I understand, bro. After a while, they just come immune, cause the ones that are affected by the radiation breed with the ones that are affected too, so it just becomes normal, and then it just becomes normalized. So it I'm not sure if the radiation goes away or the mutation goes away, but that's basically what happens.
Whole pack is less prone to cancer.
Damn.
Researchers say the wolf's DNA evolved in regions around genes linked to the body's immune response to cancer.
Okay. Wow.
But is that actually realistic? The research hasn't been published yet, which means there's no way for us or anyone else to verify it.
Shit, bro.
This study and many others have one thing in common. They all suggest that the Chernobyl nuclear disaster may have triggered evolution right before our eyes.
Actually?
Other scientists remain skeptical, including Timothy Mousseau.
We wrote a paper a few years ago where we reviewed all of the literature that had been published on Chernobyl, claiming to test for adaptations and rapid evolution. And in every case, except for maybe one, the data were too weak. They did not have the strength, the scientific strength to support this hypothesis of adaptation.
Mousseau has studied potential adaptations himself. He and his colleagues sampled colonies of certain bacteria in
What the fuck am I
Denmark
looking
and
at, bro? What am I looking at? Yo, I'm not saying that shit.
various sites across Chernobyl.
I'm not butchering it, bro.
The colonies are often found on the wings of swallows, among other places. Back in the lab, they exposed both sets of bacteria to radiation.
Okay.
Some colonies from Chernobyl actually reproduced better under radiation, especially those that had lived for years in areas with moderate background radiation. By contrast, colonies from Denmark, as well as those from the most highly contaminated parts of Chernobyl, were far less resistant to radiation. Because the experiment was carried out under carefully controlled lab conditions, the researchers are confident that this adaptation wasn't caused by any other environmental factor. To study the animals of the exclusion zone, Timothy Mousseau set up around 100 motion-activated cameras throughout the area. In late 2021, they recorded something strange. Russian soldiers.
Russians. I mean,
in February
they're the one who
2022,
caused it.
Russia
Makes sense,
invaded
bro.
Ukraine. Russian troops occupied the exclusion zone for weeks. Overnight, nearly all research in Chernobyl ground to a halt. Some scientists were forced to flee the zone. When the Russian forces finally withdrew in the spring of 2022, researchers returned to find their work in ruins.
Russian troops depart Chernobyl following disappearance of nuclear material.
Military vehicles had kicked up radioactive dust. Offices and labs had been ransacked.
The last effects of Russia's occupation of Chernobyl from February 24th to March 31st, 2022, the Chernobyl nuclear power plant and the entire exclusion zone were under occupation by Russian troops. Damn, so the Russians were like, yo, this shit's getting bad, so we have to do something about it, bro. Although the area was cleared up fairly quickly after the withdrawal of the aggressors' troops, the effects of the occupation are still being felt. Shit.
Computers and valuable equipment.
The Russians were withdrawing from the power plant, robbed it of, among other things, computer equipment. They also abducted 168 National Guards of Ukraine soldiers from Unit 3041 or 3041, responsible for protecting the power plant. Some of them are still in Russian captivity in the territory of the world's largest country, between 70 to 80 guardsmen. According to various sources, the last exchange of captives occurred on September 14, 2024, when two guardsmen returned home.
Equipment were stolen or destroyed.
Shit.
Long-term surveys were interrupted, and some irreplaceable research data may be lost forever. Several promising studies were put on hold indefinitely. Carol Love and her team never got the chance to return and study the wolves in the field.
Damn.
It's a bitter blow to our understanding of the world.
Wow, bro.
Don't forget to check out Planet Wild.
Yo, if y'all want some more fern videos, let me know down in the comments down below. And bro, that was a crazy video. I'm definitely reacting to another fern video. Shit, see you guys in the next one, and you prosper.